Now, it's Red Eye Radio. Gary McNamara and Eric Harley talk about everything from politics to social issues and news of the day. Whether you're up late or you're just starting your day, welcome to the show. From the Uniden America Studios, this is Red Eye Radio.
All across America. We are Red Eye Radio. I'm Gary McNamara. He's Eric Harley.
Hi.
Well, I really thought that the Mark Cuban slam at women was going to be basically the story of the day. You know, when we came in.
Right.
Oh, no. No. When I woke up to come in, I went, oh, my. Oh, my. In fact, what happened was I was watching Fox News, and they were talking. I got up, I went to X, and there was a clip from Fox News where they were, talking about the whole apostrophe thing and all this. And I went, wow, they're still on that with the Mark Cuban story? I didn't know. And I went, oh, they're still on that. And I just went to something else. I'm like, okay, they're still on it. All right, I guess so. It's got legs. And then I come upon on X the Associated Press story that said White House press officials reportedly pressured stenographers to cover up Joe Biden's garbage smear by editing the transcript to alter its meaning. The cover-up was a breach of protocol and a spoliation of transcript integrity between the stenography and press offices, according to the stenographer supervisor email obtained by the Associated Press, and other media outlets now have verified it. The White House stenographers added an apostrophe to supporters. Wow.
Yeah.
To alter the meaning of Biden's statement. White House press officials pressured the stenographers charged with preparing accurate transcripts for the National Archives preservation. But the stenographers drew objections to the changes, according to the two U.S. government officials and an internal email obtained by the Associated Press. Whoa. The Associated Press reported the change was made after the press office conferred with the president. According to an internal email from the head of the stenographer's office that was obtained by the Associated Press, the authenticity of the email was confirmed by two government officials who spoke on condition of anonymity to discuss internal matters. Now, that was Associated Press, who I believe was the first to come out with this. And then it's been verified by other media outlets.
Right.
Fox News also came out, and others did come out and said, nope, this is true.
Yeah.
According to the email, the press office had asked the stenographers, by the way, is the press office under the responsibility of Karine Jean-Pierre of Laffy Taffy?
Yeah.
By the way, that came because she was wearing this great big
bright green
jacket.
Bright green.
That, and I don't. What was the top she was wearing? Because that was a jacket, but it looked like she was a piece of taffy.
Yeah.
And I guess with Halloween the next day, somebody said, "Hey, there's Laffy Taffy."
Yeah.
According to the email, the press office had asked the stenographers to quickly produce a transcript of the call amid the firestorm. Wow.
Yeah.
A supervisor, a career employee of the White House, which means a career employee is one that does not serve at the pleasure of the president. They would be a civil servant, right?
Yeah.
If you're a career employee of the White House. Raised the concerns about the press office action, but did not weigh in on the accuracy of the edit in an email to the White House Communications Director, Ben LeBolt, Press Secretary Karine Jean-Pierre, and other press and communications officials. Wow. If there is a difference in interpretation, the press office may choose to withhold the transcript, but they cannot edit it independently. Wow. Wow.
Yeah.
Wow.
Well, look, it's what we already knew, but it's confirmation now from the inside. This is a stenographer, and there is a process here. There is a protocol that's in place. And according to this email, they didn't follow protocol. Again, the press office can decide not to release it.
Right, but they can't.
But they can't alter it.
Right. Now, is that technically against the law? Well, is that against the law? Forget technically. Technically means it's against the law.
Yeah, either it is or it isn't, right? But I'd have to go back and a couple of days ago, Elise Stefanik issued a concern there, and she brought something up. I'd have to go into that and do my research there to find out, what applies here. I didn't see anything yesterday in what came out yesterday of anybody. We saw the word protocol.
Well,
from, as a part of the email.
Elise Stefanik did.
At least that's what I'm saying. She did, which and that goes back,
No, yesterday she did.
She said that in response to this story?
She said aides to President Joe Biden illegally edited the transcript of Biden's garbage smear of Trump supporters, violating the Presidential Records Act because this is going to the National Archives. You can't change it.
Right.
By the way, to Alvin Bragg and others, that's fraud.
Well,
Jack Smith.
This is, let's take a look. And also, this is the whole thing of the presidential records and the classified documents with Biden. Everybody was up in a tizzy over what Trump had and the documents that Biden had that he obtained and wasn't president. What in the hell? I mean, it's every time I revisit each of these items, it's more and more head scratching.
Well, here's a couple of things that come out of this. As we said yesterday, when Karine Jean-Pierre was attempting to, do the whole apostrophe thing on yesterday's show, and we said that this thing was going to last until today. Now it lasts the entire weekend because this becomes part of the Sunday morning news shows. It has to.
Yeah.
And she's going to be asked questions. Do you denounce and do you repudiate what the White House, what the White House did? And she's going to be asked all these questions. And the White House is, so it's not out of, it's in the news the entire time. Really, this is to the end of the election. Because what's the White House going to say about this today? Because they got the comment from the White House last night, which was like, the president was talking about the comedian. Well, clearly he wasn't. Otherwise, they wouldn't have done this.
Exactly.
So they're gaslighting again. But as I said, this leaves the impression again, right before the election, that this is not just an administration that lies, but gaslights, which means everybody saw what he said.
Yeah. Right.
And now we know that he just didn't. You could tell he was reading. But now we know he was reading. The evidence is there that he's reading. We could see that he was reading, but you and I didn't have the hard evidence. Nobody else had the hard evidence. He was reading, even though it looked like he was reading from a laptop. But he could say, well, it just looked like that, because they will parse words. Well, it looked like he was reading, but that's just Biden, and he looks sleepy and stuff, whatever.
Right.
But no, this now proves he wrote it down.
Right.
It was calculated to call the supporters. They came up with this thing in order to diffuse the firestorm that happened because of this. Unbelievable. It's just unbelievable when you think about it. And finally, somebody in the White House said, nope, career employees. Here's the thing, though. If they didn't object to it, if what Elise Stefanik says is true, and I believe it is, that this is violating the Presidential Records Act, these are civil servants in there. They're not, they're not political appointees. These are civil servants who work in there. They got a pension. They got everything. And what they were asking them to do was to violate the Presidential Records Act. They probably went, to hell with you. We're not going to do this. Where's this coming from? You can't do this. This is illegal. And knowing this administration, they'll throw us under the bus.
Yeah, right.
They won't take the blame. We could lose our pensions. And I don't know the stenographers, how old they are, whatever. I'm just using that as an example. I could lose my job. I could be charged with the crime.
Well, that's
I
it.
could lose my pension.
If there's a wrongdoing here, I'm going to take the fall here.
Yeah.
Because you want to fix something for what he said? You want me to be the fixer. Yeah, no. No way.
Now, we all knew what he meant, but now the evidence exists.
Yeah.
We all knew. We all know. Come on, you had on The View, Whoopi. Well, no, they all are deplorables, she said the other day. And they all are.
Right.
And I forgot the other liberal activist who I saw next yesterday. Well, they are. They're all deplorables. They're all anybody who votes for Trump. Doesn't matter who they are. You vote for Trump, you're garbage. You're deplorable. You're scum of the earth.
Yep. Well, no, I mean, that's it. It's, and Obama talked openly about it during the Obama years. You didn't use the word garbage, but, the Flat Earth Society and all these people who sit around and watch Fox News, and he didn't have a problem insulting people who supported Republicans at all. I'm wondering why Biden has a problem. Biden's probably looking at this going, what? What did I say? We've been saying this kind of stuff for years. What do you want me to correct? I don't think Biden did the thing on X, the post on X to try and walk it back, but that's not going to go anywhere. By the way, he probably didn't write that. He's not sitting there with his phone.
Yeah,
and
you're right.
Writing the comment on X. He's probably sitting there going, "I'm not going to fix anything. You guys, if you think it needs to be fixed, go ahead. I'm not doing nothing."
Wow.
Yeah.
Oh.
Yeah. Never underestimate the ability of Joe Biden to F things up. Barack Obama's comment on Joe Biden.
I can see historians 100 years from now, and then right before the election, the apostrophe scandal.
Yeah.
The October apostrophe surprise.
Yeah. I'll tell you what's garbage. The apostrophe. Throw that thing out. Put it out on the curb. It didn't belong. There's no use for it. Yeah.
It's going to be interesting to see their response today.
Yeah. Yeah.
It really, really is.
Yep.
I just realized now with Election Day last week, even in my nap yesterday, I slept for like 3 hours. I wanted to sleep for like 5. As soon as I wake up, my mind starts working.
Mm-hmm.
I want to analyze everything that's going on.
Mm-hmm.
And now with the time change this weekend, we fall back, right?
Yep.
Yeah. I'm going to get as much sleep this weekend as I possibly can because I have a feeling I'm not going to be sleeping much next week. It's going to be insane. It's going to be nuts. Whatever happens, it's going to be crazy.
Yeah, it's going to be an insane week next week. There's going to be a lot going on. That's the understatement of the year. It is going to be over the top.
And so I was just scanning stuff here, speaking about the garbage stuff, and I saw Roger Simon's column in RealClearPolitics.com. It's sort of the narrative we were on yesterday. Am I a Nazi, garbage, or Nazi garbage?
Right. Yeah.
He goes, my first reaction is almost exactly what we said. My first reaction when I heard Joe Biden was calling Donald Trump supporters garbage was that Biden, wanted to sabotage, consciously or unconsciously, Kamala Harris's campaign. I could be wrong, but as the Zen Buddhists say, first thought, best thought.
Yeah, exactly.
There are possible other explanations, such as he was desperate to stay relevant in the final hours of his presidency and just happened to make his dopey comment at the moment that Harris was making her supposed important closing argument. such as it was.
Right. Yeah.
Or is he just so terminally gaga that he doesn't know where he is or what he's doing? There's nothing new on that. But
Right.
I just find that when I saw that, I just loved that headline. Am I a Nazi? Garbage or Nazi garbage?
Right. Well, we asked the question. It's a Nazi rally. Well, we didn't mean they're garbage. Well, wait a minute. You were just calling them Nazis. It's a Nazi rally.
Yeah.
So the people who attend a Nazi rally aren't garbage? Which is it?
That was so stupid. Well, so it's a Nazi rally, but the people there aren't Nazis.
Right. Oh, they're all.
Only the guy speaking is not.
I guess what they're saying is there are good people on both sides.
Good Nazis and bad Nazis. 866-90 Red Eye.
This morning's USDA Farm Report is brought to you by Howes Products. Tested, trusted, guaranteed since 1920.
A new USDA pilot program designed to connect non-traditional U.S. commodities with an international food assistance program.
Food for Opportunity reflects our goal to provide opportunities that expand potential revenue streams for U.S. farmers and ranchers that will directly support their communities and rural economy.
Undersecretary for Trade and Foreign Agricultural Affairs Alexis Taylor with the announcement Wednesday at the Norman Borlaug International Dialogue in Iowa, part of World Food Prize Week.
Today's announcement builds upon the McGovern-Dole program, which helps support education, child development, and food security in low-income, food deficit countries around the globe.
The Undersecretary says a notice of funding opportunity will soon be issued for commodity producers to apply for Food for Opportunity, with non-traditional commodities provided at active McGovern-Dole projects for evaluation and monitoring. I'm Rod Bain reporting for the U.S. Department of Agriculture in Washington, D.C.
This report brought to you by Cenex Fuels and Lubes.
Get in touch with Red Eye Radio, toll free at 866-90 Red Eye.
It's Red Eye Radio. He's Eric Harley, and I'm Gary McNamara. Then the other story yesterday was Cuban. Mark Cuban. Here's how the Trump campaign puts it. Top Kamala surrogate Mark Cuban says no strong, intelligent woman support Donald Trump. Here it is.
All right.
Here we go.
Donald Trump, you never see him around strong, intelligent women, ever.
That lit a firestorm. As I said when I came in, it was like last night was ladies' night on X.
Yeah.
Because it seemed to be 9 out of 10 of the posts that I was going through were Republican not just Republican conservative women, because let me just go back here, because one of the most interesting ones that I saw, hang on here, came from, let me just go, here we go. Hey, Mark Cuban, Dr. Naomi Wolf here, 8 New York Times bestsellers, Rhodes Scholar, advised President Clinton's reelection campaign, as well as Gore in 2000, wrote a classic of feminist theory, The Beauty Myth, tech CEO, world-famous feminist, Trump supporter. As you noticed the other day, we talked about this. I said, I told you, I go, oh, my God, Naomi Wolf is endorsing Trump.
Exactly. Yeah. And it's... But it's, it was insane. It's off the charts right now where all the surrogates are for her. None of them are on point. Not one of them have been on point the entire time.
You're a threat to democracy if you don't download our app, Red Eye Radio.
It's Red Eye Radio. He is Eric Harley, and I'm Gary McNamara. And some of the response from women out there here to Mark Cuban and what he said is Martin Luther King's niece, Elvita King, last night. Here we go.
Heads up. Mark Cuban just said, and I quote, "There are no strong, intelligent women around President Trump." Cuban's words are mean, sad, and misogynistic. And the left can't even define what a woman is. I am evangelist Elvita King, and I pray for my friend, President Donald John Trump.
There you go.
Now, this thing happened after he was on The View. All right. And so immediately there was massive backlash. Again, the number of Republican women that posted on X was more than I've ever seen in one day.
Yeah.
I mean, it was just unbelievable.
Yeah, it's great.
And he said, let's clarify something after he just got destroyed for it. Let's clarify something. This is what I said during a conversation about why Nikki Haley was not active in his campaign. Donald Trump, you will never see him around strong, intelligent women, ever. It's that simple. They're intimidating to him. He doesn't like to be challenged by them. And, Nikki Haley will call him on his nonsense with reproductive rights and how he sees and treats and talks about women. I mean, he just can't have her around. It wouldn't work. I'm happy to clarify that, quote, number one, I know that many strong, intelligent women are voting for Trump, including my extended family, and I'm certainly not saying female voters are not smart, strong, and intelligent. I know he has worked with many strong, intelligent women, and he goes Kellyanne Conway, Ivanka, and many more. I stand by my opinion that he does not like being challenged publicly. That wasn't your opinion. Nobody is objecting. Nobody is objecting to that. They may disagree with your opinion. Nobody's objecting to that.
Right. That's not the argument.
Right,
that's not the issue here.
It's not the issue. And so, because the correct answer, Mark, you want us to help you out? Are you in Dallas? You want us to help you out? It's very easy. Nikki Haley should be campaigning for him, even though I'm not in his campaign. I'm going to tell him what he should do. But Nikki Haley should be out there campaigning for him because she might be able to draw more women to vote for Trump.
Well, it would be very clear. If Donald Trump is concerned about women voting for him, and he should be, as every candidate and nominee should be, then there should be a greater alliance and a greater effort to work more with Nikki Haley, as she has been able to resonate with female voters. That's something that we saw when she was running, something that's been consistent about her, and with all the alliances that he's created in his campaign, that's one where he's fallen short, and there should be a greater alliance if he was going to make any kind of inroads with female voters. Was that hard?
Right.
That's not hard.
Now, you can argue that point because the point would be, no, sorry, she's too critical. If she wishes to speak and say that she's not going to vote, she's going to vote for me, that's fine. And I'll say thank you for it, but I don't want her to be a core of my campaign at all. We believe that we've got a great core, including Tulsi Gabbard out there and other women, and that suffices what we need. She just disagrees with me on too many things and is public in it. And this is a campaign where we're accentuating the positive of why people should vote for me. I can't have a surrogate out there telling people why they shouldn't vote for me. I don't want to be Harris and have people that are telling the surrogates that are telling my voters why not to vote for me, like Clinton, Biden, and Mark Cuban.
That's the conservative, truthful approach. But at least you didn't step in it with my approach as a liberal. As a liberal, I would expect that. Hey, he's got to make more inroads with liberals or with women, and he needs to do that with help from other women. I mean, that's, I expect a liberal to again, we're trying to create a unicorn out of Mark Cuban, and it's not going to happen. I think he's proven time and time again, that especially this political season, that he just doesn't have a clue.
But then overnight, he must have been up late, getting blasted by everyone on this. He wrote, "When I said this during the interview, I didn't get it out exactly the way that I thought I did." Well, it sure took you a long time to realize that. So listen to this. "So I apologize to anyone who felt slighted or upset by my response." He's not saying I apologize for what I said. He's saying I apologize to anyone who felt slighted or upset by my response.
Yes.
As I said, it wasn't about Trump voters, supporters, or employees, current or former. It was.
Yeah.
He's denying what he said.
Right.
Oh, my God. And how did he get to the point that he's at? He keeps digging another hole. All right, I dug one hole. That didn't work. Let me dig another hole. And I set myself up for the 6-second soundbite. No excuses. Can't nail any interview or every interview. My skin is thick enough. Then he says, what bothers me, though, is so many of the comments or media in support of or against me has some level of insult attached to it. Not just here, but everywhere. You put out a misogynist statement insulting women who support Trump. What do you think the hell's going to happen when you get in the arena of ideas? What? I'm Mark Cuban, and I can say something incredibly misogynist, and anybody who attacks me back for it, well, that bothers me. Welcome to the real world, Mark.
Well, you did the lockout with ever. You used the word ever.
Yeah.
In your short little 6-second soundbite, Mark. That's not something that you just misspoke on. You came back with ever. Had it been in writing, it would have been all caps, EVER.
With no apostrophe.
No, none. Couple of exclamation points.
Oh, my God. I just don't believe
What I meant to say was, no, we know what you meant.
because you said it.
And then you had a qualifier after that. So, sorry, Mark. You wish you could walk it back. You know, this is the problem. Mark has been an excuse-making machine for Kamala Harris. And now Mark's a excuse-making machine for Mark.
I mean, it was just so bad.
It really is bad.
Now, the best response to Mark Cuban came, believe it or not, from Kaitlyn Jenner, who wrote, just because of so many of the pictures of Cuban that don't exactly look like Cuban. And so you wonder, is that makeup? What? Kaitlyn Jenner wrote, just because Kamala Harris surrogate Mark Cuban is slowly but surely transitioning, it still doesn't give him the right to be a misogynist. Oh, my God.
I love it. That's funny.
Oh, my gosh.
Yeah.
Let us go to Brian in Kansas City. Brian, welcome. You're on Red Eye Radio. Welcome to the show. Hi, Brian.
Hi. Thank you for taking my call.
You're welcome.
I just wanted to make a quick comment about what Mark Cuban said. I was not trying to make an excuse for him, but his situation, where he was located at, I think that had a lot to do with what he said. He was around Joy and Whoopi, and he was just being one of the girls. And I'm not trying to make an excuse.
Thank you so much,
Thanks, Brian.
He got caught up in all the drama.
Exactly. Oh, my gosh. Yeah.
Well, we understand the sarcasm there, but as Eric has said, in fact, he said it first to Republicans. No matter what happens, you are always in control of your own words.
It is the number one rule if you're in the arena of ideas. This is you have to know this. Everything must be thoughtful. Misspeaking is one thing, but you heard it. Mark, when he said it, was speaking with conviction. And then says, well, what I meant to say was, I meant to put an apostrophe in it. No, you didn't. Yes, apostrophe. No. It doesn't work that way, Mark. Wheel of Fortune. Can I buy an apostrophe? It really is insane.
Let's coin it now. Apostrophe gate will be talked about today.
Yeah.
I can't wait to wake up.
Yeah, I know.
I can't wait because I go home and immediately take a nap.
I know.
I cannot wait till I
probably
wake up.
wake up our production crew right now. They can't wait to wake up.
I can't
Time
wait
to go home.
I cannot wait to wake up
This
and
week,
and see the zoo this becomes. Now, I don't know if Karine Jean-Pierre has a
presser today.
press gaggle or whatever at the White House.
Yeah, I don't know.
If I were her, I'd cancel it.
I'd, in fact, take a week off.
Oh, wait a minute.
Good time for vacation.
Hold it. She's not going to do it. It's Friday.
Right. Yeah, which means Biden is somewhere.
Is Biden going to stick around?
Is he at the beach? I don't know.
So I'm guessing she's not going to ask him out to campaign for her this weekend.
Maybe he does it anyway. He goes to an ice cream shop and starts talking issues. No, you know what he does? He goes to a Starbucks and then says, let's talk race. And Starbucks is going, why is he there? Why is he there? The new CEO.
He could do that at an ice cream place, too. Let's talk race.
Yeah.
Could you give me a vanilla cone, please?
Yes, exactly.
Cone privilege.
Yeah, maybe he goes to Rochester and orders a garbage plate.
Oh, man, yeah.
Yeah.
We hadn't talked about the garbage plate in a long time.
I
mean, we
know.
did the other day. We mentioned it the other day.
Yeah.
The garbage plate, which is just a bunch of different stuff they throw on a plate.
It's basically everything in their kitchen on one plate.
Yeah.
Yeah.
I wonder.
Minus utensils.
I wonder if that restaurant, I remembered it the other day, I forgot now, if that restaurant in Rochester is doing a garbage plate special.
Oh, they have to be. Man, you got to be, right? I would. Yeah. Come on in. We don't care who you vote for. Come get a garbage plate.
Yeah?
Yeah. Come on in. The garbage is fine. Yeah.
Because you know somebody in Rochester is making
Oh, yeah.
it. Rochester, New York, just so people know.
Mm-hmm.
And I forgot, why did we start talking about somebody brought it up years ago on our show, the garbage plate? Because I've never had one. I've been to Rochester, I don't know, dozens upon dozens upon dozens upon dozens of times. It's only 60 miles from Buffalo, but I've never had a garbage plate and didn't know about it, never learned about it until we started on this show. And a caller brought it up one time, I believe.
Yeah. Right. Yep.
And now I guess more restaurants. There was the original restaurant.
I think we read about it, and then a caller called in to confirm it. I think that's what it was. We read about it somewhere, and I don't know why it came up in in an article, why that rose to the top for us. But I think we brought it up, and then someone called in and said, "Yeah, that's actually a thing." Yeah.
866-90-RED-EYE.
Coming up, more with Gary McNamara and Eric Harley. It's Red Eye Radio.
It's Red Eye Radio. He's Eric Harley, and I'm Gary McNamara. All right, so this is it, and then when we're back Sunday night, Monday morning, we're just a day away, and so here we go. The polls still, you haven't seen any movement really towards her.
No,
there's been the talk. Well, Michigan and Wisconsin, and then there's a great debate as to whether Trump actually leads there. and it's close, or that's just within the margin of error and they're not sure. Right. But it's nothing really has changed much. And, we'll see what happens. But I think there's going to be a firestorm over the apostrophe thing. And I wouldn't be surprised if the White House just has no comment today. Because the White House commented last night and said, no, it's clear. We told you what he meant. He meant he was talking just about, and this was after the apostrophe scandal.
Yep.
After the story came out.
Yep.
And the White House said, nope. He only meant the comedian.
Right. Yeah.
Well, that's going to keep this controversy going, and it hurts her campaign.
Yep. It's and it's a mess going into the final weekend.
Yep. Amazing.
This is Red Eye Radio on Westwood One.